Hello guys and welcome to a new Get Fit Balina video. Today I'm going to tell you my story, well part of my story. A story about a girl who was skinny but had a healthy relationship with food, just wanted to get fit, whose healthy relationship got fucked up by the fitness, bodybuilding industry, and who got back to that healthy relationship with a lot of work and now is helping other people to get that healthy relationship too. I haven't told this story a lot of people, just close people, because at that time I was just going through that process. I didn't understand it really, and I was also kind of ashamed, and I didn't have the knowledge I have now to do this video. So I have my iPad here with me in case I forget something. I'm gonna be watching my notes, so excuse me for that. So as I said, my story started when I was 19. I was skinny and I wanted to get a fit body. I wanted to get abs. I was inspired by a page that was called Female Fitness Models. There were fitness models that looked great. They had abs and I wanted that. So I started going to the gym, working out and figuring everything out, also with nutrition. And it went good for 1.5 years. Then I joined a Facebook group called Bodybuilding is My Lifestyle, where I also posted some progress. And there I got to know my ex-boyfriend, who was a competitor. And after a time, he encouraged me to go on stage and compete in bodybuilding in the bikini section. So yeah, I was really excited about that. And then we started preparing for it. We started bulking because I had to gain some muscle in order to have enough muscle for the competition. And when we started it, that's when the nightmare started and my relationship started to get fucked up. Because even though I had to gain some weight, I was not even in competition diet. I was forbidden a lot of stuff. I couldn't eat dairy. I was not allowed to eat tomatoes because my ex-boyfriend used to say they pull water. And I was really being restricted with my nutrition. For example, if I wanted to eat quinoa, he said I couldn't have quinoa, and I asked him why quinoa is healthy. And he said, no, it has to be chicken and rice because it's always been done like that. And that's a big red flag. If a coach can't tell you why you're doing something, that's not a good coach. A coach should always be able to tell you why you are doing or he's making you do certain things. So yeah, that's when I started feeling deprived and I started cheating with other stuff. I started stuffing myself with other stuff, and I gained a lot of weight during that time, but not only muscle mass, but mostly fat. So my position before I started my competition diet was really bad compared to when I started bulking. And that was because I wasn't allowed to eat my healthy foods that I liked, and therefore I was craving other stuff, and I was really cheating hard on those cheat days. So when the competition diet started, things got worse. I was even more deprived. We were fighting a lot. And I remember one specific situation that I will never forget. It was my birthday. I was eating a salad, literally a salad without dressing, just salad leaves with chicken ham, low fat, which is not even 100 calories, the whole salad. And he said to me in German, "Bist du schon wieder am Fressen?" In English, that means, are you stuffing yourself up again? And this and many other things really discouraged me. He was telling me I had no discipline, I would never be a good athlete, I would never make it with my behavior. And I started to believe it. I started to think it was my fault, that I have no discipline, that I'm really bad at this. And it really fucked up my mind. So yeah, after a time the relationship was over, and this was for other reasons. But then I was standing there 2 months out from my competition and I have to search for a new coach. So I did, and I'm very thankful because he taught me a lot of things, especially with training. But it was still a bodybuilding coach and it was still very strict. I had to eat certain meals at certain times a day, and it had to be those times. So I did really crazy stuff during my competition diet. For example, I would go out on a first date and take my meal and tell my date, okay, now it's 5, we have to go to McDonald's and I have to have my meal because it has to be at 5. or I took my food to a wedding. I didn't eat anything on my mom's birthday in a restaurant because I was on diet. So yeah, I took my Tupperware everywhere. Well, then I made it on stage with this shape. I had not a lot of muscle left because I had to diet hard to bring all this fat I built up from binging down. And yeah, after the competition, it didn't get any better because after I got off of stage, I strictly went to binge. Why? Because this is promoted in bodybuilding. Like after a competition, you're supposed to go to McDonald's or somewhere else and eat everything you can get, stuff your mouth with everything you can get. This is really promoted and it really makes me sad. So before it was normal for me. And yeah, that's what I did. Then after my competition season, it went on because I was afraid to go eat out with friends because you have this certain picture of yourself in competition shape and you want to keep that. So you're afraid that if you're going to eat outside, then you're gonna gain weight, and yeah, that's why my social life suffered a lot after. And because of that, because I was restricting myself, I would have cheat days to have an excuse to eat everything. And because I was depriving myself, I was feeling like I was trapped in a cage where I couldn't get out and just could go out on my cheat day. So I had to take advantage of my liberty and I really had to eat everything I could. I would feel really bad after doing this, and this sticked for a long time, for some years with me. So fast forward to my first competition. For my second, I got another coach, things got a little better. But for my third, I decided to prepare myself because I wanted to try something new that I knew no coach, at least no coach, no bodybuilding coach in Austria would do. And this was flexible dieting. So I started preparing myself with flexible dieting. And flexible dieting doesn't mean you can just eat anything. No, it means you should eat most of the time healthy, stick to your macros, but you can allow yourself some things in moderation. At this time, this was like an experiment for me. This was something new for me, and I wasn't sure I was going to make it, to have a competition lean shape and do flexible dieting, but it was worth it for me because for me, I thought there had to be another way to get in shape without having to torture myself. So I really enjoyed this diet. I could switch it up. I loved it. But the hard thing there is that I got a lot of hate from many athletes at the time, that I wasn't a good athlete, that I wasn't gonna be lean on stage, that yeah, I'm just not disciplined. So this was also hard for me because this was really an experiment for me and I didn't know myself that it would work. So I kept going even though I got a lot of hate, and when I stepped on stage, I really had a great shape. I got in shape, I had the best abs, I'm not exaggerating, and people were like, whoa. For my fourth competition season, I did the same thing. Nobody said anything because they already knew I was able to get on stage doing that flexible dieting. But when you're dieting for a competition, well, it has an impact on your body and your hunger hormones, because you literally, if you wanna reach a lean shape, a stage lean shape, it's not healthy for your body. Your body wants you to gain weight, and so your hunger hormones are very confused. Everything gets out of order, so that leads you to hunger. And after the competition, because it's promoted, I would go out and binge again. So I still didn't have a healthy relationship with food, and I realized that if I went on like that, that would really cause an eating disorder for me. So I started working on myself, looking at my triggers, what made me eat so much, and starting being even more flexible and allowing myself things just to see that I don't need a whole day to starve myself. And it was really hard because for me, it was unimaginable that there was no day where I could eat just anything. So it took me times, it took me years, still on vacations. I used to go on vacations and gain, for example, 4 kilo in 1 week because I was stuffing myself, or at all-you-can-eat buffets, I couldn't hold myself back and I would just eat everything. So it really took me time, years, and I had to work on my mindset a lot. But eventually I got there. Now I eat anything I want, but in moderation. I allow myself something every day. I don't even have to count macros anymore, but I will be forever thankful for starting to count macros, because this gave me the knowledge I have now. That's why I'm able to eat intuitively, because in my head I know where there is protein, and yeah, that way I can manage it myself without having to track everything. But this was a big part that helped me get there, and that's why I also do this with my clients at the beginning, so they learn about nutrition, get a knowledge. I want to give them a knowledge for them to start having a healthy relationship with food, and for them to know that they don't have to restrict themselves. And it takes time. It's not a journey that's going fast. So yeah, today I help others get that knowledge about nutrition and get that balance too, because this is really life quality that you deserve and that you're losing if you're restricting yourself, whether it's from a bodybuilding point of view or from the fitness industry, which is also really fucked up in many things. So yeah, people have to learn to be more flexible, and I'm teaching them that they can get their dream bodies without having to sacrifice their social life. You can go eat at your grandma's, eat your grandma's lasagna, you can celebrate your mother's birthday, go to a business meeting, have some wine, and still get in great shape. You just have to know how. And for me, it's still so sad to see when people say they have their cheat day. And this makes me so sad, because it takes me back to those times where I thought I needed cheat days to keep going with my fit life, and that's just not true. So today I'm helping others, and if you need help, you can contact me. We can have a free consultation, talk about it, figure something out. Or I also wrote my ebook because of that. It's on nutrition. It shows you the basics of nutrition, and then how to get that balance, how to do it when you're on vacation, how to manage your everyday life, so you fit fitness into your life, but not revolve your whole world around fitness. I made this book so everybody could afford it, and it really is my baby. And yeah, that was my story. That was one big trigger that made me start doing what I'm doing, and I'm happy that I experienced it, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to help people like I can right now. So yeah, this was my story. Thank you for listening, and don't forget, train smart, get fit.